And he tried, he was game, but every time he threw one or two, Inoue came back with 4s and 5s and 6s.
Yeah, credit goes to Picasso for putting a great show on. He pushed Inoue back at times, but Inoue was just too good. I mean, he was too classy, he was sharp, them body shots, head shots, I mean, he was just beating him to every punch.
It's almost like a body stab, isn't it? He really puts a lot of weight into those body shots.
He's a great finisher. I think he's the best finisher in boxing. He's Joe Louis, he's Mike Tyson, he's Jack Dempsey. 3 of the greatest finishers in the history of the sport. He's all of them.
Japanese fighter is the best fighter. In my opinion, I'm nobody, but I think he's the best fighter. He's 122 now, right?
He's 122, he'd be going to 135.
Why don't they fight 132, something like that? Yeah.
Naoya Inoue didn't just defeat Alan Picasso. He sent a message to the entire boxing world. From the opening bell, Inoue's elite speed, timing, and ruthless precision exposed a massive gap between championship pedigree and raw potential. As Picasso searched for his rhythm, Inoue was already several steps ahead, breaking him down with surgical body shots and lightning-fast combinations. The performance triggered immediate reactions across the sport, with professionals calling a masterclass and questioning whether anyone at 122 pounds is truly equipped to handle the monster.
21.5 pounds for the undisputed world champion. 121.1 pounds for the undefeated challenger, Alan Picasso. Here they are, face to face, 24 hours from stepping into the ring. Challenger and champion both undefeated. Alan Picasso. The master Inoue.
Despite the one-sided scorecards, former world champion Amir Khan praised Alan Picasso for his courage and competitive spirit. Khan emphasized that stepping into the ring with a pound-for-pound elite like Inoue is no small task, and Picasso's ability to go the full 12 rounds showed heart and resilience. While Inoue's superior skill and experience were decisive, Khan noted that Picasso displayed grit, determination, and a willingness to challenge himself, qualities that deserve respect and make boxing compelling.
He was game, but every time he threw one or two, Inoue came back with 4s and 5s and 6s.
Yeah, credit goes to Picasso for putting a great show on. He pushed Inoue back at times, but Inoue was just too good. I mean, he was too classy, he was sharp, them body shots, head shots, I mean, he was just beating him to every punch.
It's almost like a body stab, isn't it? He really puts a lot of weight into those body shots.
We were sat ringside and we can hear the noise of them punches.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, wow, did he hear that noise? I mean, he has power, he has speed, movement, you name it. But I just feel that Picasso just fell short this time. He did a great job though. Honestly, when you look at the fight, he did not give up. Every minute of the fight, he was still there in front of him.
Yeah, you wonder if Picasso, if that's any other super bantamweight not named Inoue, you wonder if Picasso maybe would have got his hand raised, because he did look really good in there.
Yeah,
Darren.
And there was moments you felt he was trying to grow into the contest, but it was just the class and the level of Inoue that just stopped his man building any momentum. But against anyone else, you feel he could have been a real hard night's work. I don't want to discredit anything that Picasso's done there. He tried. He dared to be great. He was just in there with an elite level fighter. Look, just didn't have the one-punch power, because he's delivered a nice left hook there. And look, again, I said it with Nakatani, you're always learning still with 31 bouts under your in your career, you're still having to learn. And there's a couple of moments there where he took a couple of silly shots, but generally...
Renowned boxing analyst Teddy Atlas revealed that he now ranks Naoya Inoue as his #1 pound-for-pound fighter. Atlas explained that he recognized Inoue's potential years ago, particularly praising his defensive skills early in his career. This, he said, proves Inoue's rise to greatness was long anticipated rather than sudden. Atlas even suggested Inoue is on a path similar to Manny Pacquiao's, while cautioning that moving up in weight presents different limits for every fighter.
Proud of the fact that I put Inoue on my pound-for-pound list I don't know, 3 years ago, whatever it was. I don't even know how long.
That's true.
And no one...
You've been on him before I even knew who he was.
Ken, no one had him anywhere near it. They basically barely knew who he was, as you just touched on. And obviously he dominated Fulton, or at least put it this way, he established control right from the start. He made Fulton's a defensive fighter, a good counterpuncher. He made him concentrate more on defense and surviving than Fulton really wanted to early. He set the course of the fight, the mentality of the fight, the theme of the fight right from the start. Inoue just never let Fulton really get anything started or, as I said, any rhythm. He used his jab, again, similar to Crawford. The jab was very important for Inoue and for Fulton. Very important. Most important weapon of the night. Inoue used his jab to stabilize Fulton on the outside. Then he plays good body shots to take some of his legs away. He was placing beautiful body shots. He stepped out of range very effectively, controlling distance. He was very good defensively. You know, everyone talked about Fulton's defense. Inoue's defense. Yeah, he's a great offensive fighter, but his defense.
Ryan Garcia has also shared his thoughts, stating that he believes Inoue has potential to become a multi-weight world champion. Garcia even expressed interest in possibly facing Inoue in the future, adding to the growing belief that Inoue can continue rising to divisions and achieve legendary status.
Inoue can become a multiple weight world champion. So I'm thinking, what if one day we fight at 140? I'm talking about future, and we do it in Japan. It'll be huge. Huge. Mark my words, if it somehow plays out that way, I think that fight will be one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time.
Former welterweight world champion Shawn Porter echoed similar praise, saying Inoue has a potential to become the next Manny Pacquiao. Porter highlighted Inoue's eye-catching performances and suggested his fighting style could capture the American audience, showing how Inoue's dominance is making waves far beyond Japan.
The monster is multi-dimensional.
Yeah, of course.
But have you seen him legitimately be multi-dimensional?
Yeah.
From a standpoint of being able, obviously we know he can punch.
Yeah.
We've seen him get to the body. But
He's a box people
I
before.
really haven't seen him stay on the outside and counter punch.
Do you think that's what he's going to have to do against Fulton, though?
It's not the point. The point is you just call him the #1 fighter on the planet.
Pound for pound.
But you got to be able to do it all.
Yeah.
Who do you fight? I mean, you can.
Following his dominant unanimous decision win over Picasso, Inoue addressed what could come next. The boxing world is already buzzing about a possible all-Japanese super fight with Junto Nakatani. With both fighters earning victories on the same Riyadh card, promoters and fans have pointed to a potential Inoue versus Nakatani showdown in 2026, possibly at the Tokyo Dome. Inoue hinted that something big could be coming, suggesting Japanese fans should expect something special.
It is huge. I mean, this is like probably billboards all over the place type of fight, huge in Japan. So, I really, if it's in the conversation, could you see any other fight that Inoue could do that really could be this big? He could go up to featherweight and fight for the World Featherweight Championship. I don't know if it would be as big as this. Inoue Nakatani right now is probably the biggest fight for both guys for several reasons, and it would be huge.
Known worldwide as a monster, Naoya Inoue strikes fear into opponents with his unmatched blend of speed, power, and technical brilliance. Fighters understand that facing Inoue is not just a physical challenge, but a psychological one, as his relentless pressure and precision can break opponents down round by round.
Inoue. Mm-hmm. So when you see, he got the victory over Cool Boy Steph. Cool Boy Steph, he's not a heavy puncher, good boxer. But far as, Inoue, it was a Filipino fighter he had fought twice, Donaire. So Donaire was giving him fits in the first fight. And if I'm not mistaken, Donaire was somewhere close to 40 or 40 years old when he fought him the first time. Whereas he was in his 20s. So he should have knocked him out in the first fight, fighting a guy, like I said before, at that age. What I need Inoue to do is, I need him to come fight in the U.S., random blood, urine testing. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I don't want to take nothing away from him. hell of a fighter. And I like him because I see he take a lot of my...
Inoue's ability to deliver devastating punches with pinpoint accuracy, combined with his refusal to back down, makes him one of the most intimidating presences in the sport today.
Use that to set something up to get a guy gone. He only really lets his hands go if his opponents are hurt. That's just who he is. I actually appreciate that about him. You know, it does a few things. One, it keeps him safe because it's basically a defense mechanism. If I'm not wild and loose, you can't really counter me, or I just won't slip up and do something stupid. So there's not a whole lot that I'm giving you, basically, as an opponent. Not a lot that I'm giving you. But also, it preserves energy. And he can preserve energy. I mean, the guys at that weight, you know, they're a whole lot smaller, so they can definitely preserve energy. But when you're throwing those single shots like he does, it preserves energy. So he's still fresh in the championship rounds, which is quite intelligent. He does like
the bout itself, billed as one of the year's biggest super bantamweight clashes, lived up to expectations. When the two unbeaten fighters met at the Mohammed Abdo Arena in Riyadh, Inoue asserted his authority from start to finish, using sharp footwork, crisp combinations, and constant pressure to dictate the pace across all 12 rounds. The judges awarded wide unanimous decision scores of 120 to 108, 119 to 109, and 117 to 111.
Tactical look for this fight. When I saw the two men get into the ring, the first thing that I noticed straight away was Picasso was carrying an incredibly high guard, defensively keeping his gloves very, very high, trying to protect his chin. And one thing I'll say in general about Picasso in this fight is that his defensive awareness was very, very impressive. He very rarely dropped his hands after he threw a shot. His discipline was incredibly good. But the problem with that is that sometimes it leaves a lack of room for creativity with fighters. Yes, it's important to be defensively disciplined, but if you continue to give the same look over and over again, you're never ever going to beat a guy like Inoue. The first thing I said at the beginning of my live about this guy was I looked at him and I went, his elbows are incredibly flared. You know, he had the high guard, but his elbows were very, very far forwards, which instantly made me think he's giving the body to Inoue. He's offering it to him. Now, that can sometimes be done because it's to create counter-punching opportunities. But in this instance, I think it was just that he was so concerned about protecting his head, about not getting knocked.
A key factor in the fight was Inoue's relentless body attack. Throughout the bout, he repeatedly targeted Picasso's midsection with hard, well-timed shots that disrupted his rhythm and stamina. By the middle rounds, Picasso's stance narrowed and his counters lost sharpness. Clear signs that Inoue's bodywork was taking its toll.
He was there all night for Inoue, and Inoue took it. He took the invitation, and he constantly stabbed to the body of Picasso. And in fact, I'd say that this fight kind of was a story of the body shots in many ways. Picasso, like Inoue, had most of his success to the body. The left hook in particular was a money shot for Picasso. But the difference between these two men was so obvious to see when they were standing in the pocket and they were exchanging left hooks in particular to the body. The impact of Inoue's shots was totally different from Picasso's. It was like Picasso had cushions, pillows inside his gloves, and Inoue had a bloody egg weight. It was damaging, it was vicious, and Picasso simply couldn't hang in the pocket for long periods of time with Inoue. I mentioned the lead hand of Inoue there to the body, but the lead hand of Inoue in general in this fight was incredible to see. I mean, the sharpness, the speed on it, the different levels that he throws it from. It's unbelievably unpredictable and difficult to read as a shot, and it allowed...
Not all reactions were positive. Promoter Eddie Hearn stirred controversy by calling Inoue a disappointment to Japan, a stance that sharply contrasted with the widespread praise from other boxing figures.
Gutted, devastated, disappointing for boxing, disappointing for Japan. Being honest with you, it's just a horrific mismatch. It's hard to say Inoue's ducking Akhmadaliev, but he actually is. I'm telling you now, Inoue will not fight Akhmadaliev at any point. I bet you he doesn't fight in September or December Akhmadaliev, even though he's been ordered to do it. And I bet he vacates the belt as well. 4 fight fans in Japan, 4 fight fans around the world. The only fight that is competitive at 122 is Akhmadaliev. The Henny fight is so...
Hearn went further by claiming that Inoue had avoided certain challengers, including accusations that he ducked Murajan Akhmadaliev twice, adding a layer of controversy to Inoue's otherwise celebrated career.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Inoue against MJ is one of the best fights in boxing. And I have to respect Inoue for taking it because the people around him didn't want to take that fight. And I kind of feel like I goaded them enough to take it. And I'm very pleased they took it because I see it as a 50-50 fight. two best fighters in the division, the best fight in the division, and we're looking forward to being in Japan.
Even Inoue himself admitted that he wasn't fully satisfied with his performance. Despite securing a dominant win, he explained that fatigue from a busy 2025 campaign affected his execution. Inoue acknowledged there was room for improvement and stated that he plans to rest, recover, and return stronger, holding himself to the highest standards even in victory.
Magazine, congratulations on the victory. You mentioned during your post-fight interview that you were a bit tired. Is that down to the 4 fights a year schedule? Is that the reason why you're tired?
リングマガジンからです。試合の直後のインタビューでちょっと疲れたとおっしゃってましたけれども、それは4つ試合をこなしたそういうスケジュールのためにお疲れになってるんでしょうか。
まあそれも含めて今日の試合の内容も含め終わってまあちょっとどっと疲れたなという感想です。
Yes, that's one of the reasons. But after tonight's performance, when I finished the fight,